Hello, Outlander fans. So, we finally got the finale of Season 4, and not what I was expecting, but it was really good. It was definitely well done, and I mean, there were some scenes that I know a lot of people were disappointed that they didn't include, and I'm going to talk about that, but I also just want to say, for a book, to be adapted into a TV show, this is actually really well done considering they only have 13 episodes to fill everything in, and I understand that book 4 was a much longer book than the other ones, so I have to say that it's just very well done that they could do that. And this is just my opinion. That's just all I'm going to say. But I think it's incredible that they can tell the story, include things from the book, but also make things their own as well. Like bringing Murtaugh back, just having him back, that made me happy. And I know it made a lot of people happy too. And there's so much to talk about with Murtaugh. I'm going to get to that too. But for now, let's talk about the really important scenes that happened in the finale. So the episode was called Man of Worth, and one could assume that that meant Roger was the Man of Worth because that's who they were trying to get. But it turns out the Man of Worth is somebody else. And I actually honestly was not expecting that. So Jamie and Claire, they managed to find the village along with young Ian, and we are seeing them trying to figure out how to get Roger back. They want to trade with the Mohawk. They offer all kinds of goodies that they've brought, and unfortunately, why Claire decided to wear this, I don't know. She's wearing the stone that she had found with the skull. This was way back in the 3rd episode. And I did not think that this was going to come back, but his name is Ottertooth. He was a part of the Mohawk village. He apparently was killed by his own people. He was raving about the end of the Native Americans and the way that they lived. And he was trying to warn them, but they did not want to listen. So the Mohawk are very offended by the fact that Claire is wearing the stone that he was wearing. And they tell them to leave. They don't want to do any trading with them whatsoever. But there is a group of Mohawk there that want the stone because they were told that whoever holds the stone sees the future of the Mohawk people. And they want to know what Ottertooth foresaw. And Claire is willing to do a trade with them, but first they want Roger back. So the group helps them. Unfortunately, this probably wasn't the best way to go about it. I mean, there's really no good way, but they tried to go in the middle of the night when the Mohawk were distracted. They tried to get to the hut, which they managed to do. They got Roger out of there, but then literally right when they got him out of there, one of the Mohawks finds them. And yeah, he wasn't going to let him go. He warns everybody else and they all attack, and it's a really well done fight scene, honestly. Their attempt was not effortless, but it did not go well. So the group of Mohawk do get punished. They're banished from the village, and Jamie, Claire, and young Ian are asked to leave, which I honestly thought they were going to have a worse punishment than that, but they do not get Roger back. However, Jamie offers himself in place of Roger, and Claire is really devastated about this because this means that he might not be coming back at all. And she doesn't want to let him go, because, come on, she went back in time to be with him. But Jamie, he's the king of men. Of course he's going to sacrifice himself. And we think that it's going to happen. Young Ian is going over negotiations with the Mohawk people, and it turns out young Ian offers himself instead. Oh, I love young Ian. He's so, like, his naivete is just so cute. But he's grown as a character so much. He is definitely he's gonna learn from his experiences. He will still be around. We will see him in season 5, but for now, he is with the Mohawk people, and he is the man of worth. That is what Jamie calls him. So, yeah, that was a bittersweet goodbye. Just Jamie is just so sad about leaving Ian there. He doesn't want to let him go, because he's not just his nephew, but he's also like a son to him. Like, they have this bond that Jamie doesn't have with any of the other kids. I mean, Jenny's kids. Other kids, yes, but still, like, it was just so sad. And Sam Heughan is amazing with what he's given. Like, just this whole scene, you see the tears in his eyes. He's just so sad to let Ian go. Just, why has he not been nominated more, guys? Tell me. But yes, the scene was really good, and they are able to leave. Roger. I am still not 100% there with him, but I'd say he definitely earned a little more in this episode. And I know he's going to grow more in the next couple seasons. He still has growing to do, as does Brianna, but for this episode, Roger is rescued. And as Jamie, Claire, and Roger are off somewhere after they've left the village, Roger gets really mad with Jamie and starts punching the heck out of him. And they fight it out. And Claire's just like, fine, just get it out of your system. And during the scene, we also see young Ian going through the same ritual that Roger had to go through, which Roger had failed, but young Ian passes. He fights back as he's walking through that line of the Mohawk beating him up. He gets through it, and the leader claims him worthy. And young Ian, he's just smiling, and he's so happy at the end as they're cheering for him. So you can tell he's not going to be too miserable there, at least. So I didn't cry because I was at least happy to see he was happy. He definitely has a fascination with the natives, and he's going to fit in. But yeah, we'll see him again. But back to Jamie and Roger. So yeah, they get their fight out. And then Jamie and Claire fill him in on what has happened to Brianna. They tell him about what happened the night that he left, and Jamie specifically says, after you left, Brianna was raped. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for saying that. Because Roger needs to know that fact. He does. And Roger, he doesn't take the news too lightly. Oh, well, he shouldn't. So at least he's reacting the right way. He's very mad that that happened to her. And then he hears who it was. And then he's really pissed because that was the guy that he got on the boat with, the guy who took him away from Brianna. Like, it's finally all coming together. He's realizing all these things, and he's full of anger. And he's He never says, like, it was all his fault, but it's possible some of his anger was at himself. But he just kind of wants to take it out on everybody else. Roger. But he definitely has a lot of thinking to do. Claire tells Roger that Brianna is pregnant and that the child may not be his. And he wants to think about it. Like, Jamie wants him to go back there, but at the same time, he knows that he doesn't want to see Brianna get hurt again. And Claire informs them that Roger needs to take his time. He needs to think it through, because if he goes back and he breaks her heart again, then it was all for naught. Young Ian sacrificed himself for nothing. So yeah, they're kind of leaving it at that. Meanwhile, we got to see Brianna give birth. Oh, that scene when she's holding her baby. I was so close to crying because just all that she had gone through, all the terrible things, and yet something so beautiful came out of that. I mean, it was in a good way. Although, you know, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was just beautiful. Just to see her motherly reaction to her child, and oh, that baby was so cute. But yeah, that scene, beautiful. And she's still waiting for Roger. Murtaugh is there, he's trying to comfort her. And then she's informed that Claire and Jamie were seen riding up. She goes outside to greet them. Unfortunately, Roger isn't with them. And she, like, Sophie's acting, like, she has improved so much. And especially, like, this season was definitely going to be a big season for Brianna. And it was. It was very big. And just to see the character even grow and change. Just to see her look of heartbreak when Roger doesn't return. It's so, so sad. You can see the devastation in her eyes. And you just see that single tear going down her face. She's holding her baby, and Claire and Jamie are grandparents, and nobody's happy about that. But still, hey, they're grandparents, yay. But Roger's not back, boo. But just that scene was really well done. So Brianna's just dealing with that, but she does eventually join them for dinner downstairs. And she sits next to Jamie, who she did say at the beginning of the episode that she has forgiven. And she even called him Da. So yeah, she forgives him at least. We didn't get to see a scene where they make up, which that was in the books, but I'll get to that stuff in a bit. So yeah, they're packing up to go back to Fraser's Ridge. Claire and Jamie are grateful to Jocasta, so they've all made up after the rocky start that they had. And Brianna's looking out the window, and she sees somebody coming along the way. Who could it be? No, not Stephen Bonnet, thank God. It is Roger on a horse, riding up to Riverrun, and oh my God, this scene. Bree just runs down the stairs, out the door, through the field, and she just runs into Roger's arms, and honestly, that scene was beautiful, just breathtakingly gorgeous. And he has chosen to stay. He wants to be the father of the child, and he says, "Take me to see my son." Aww. So Roger, you've earned some trust back. I will give you a little more trust back. You still haven't apologized for things, but maybe in the future. Or Depends which future we're talking about. But yes, he is back. He's there to stay. Unfortunately, that happiness does not last. Like I said, there's always an unfortunately in every episode. The redcoats are coming along, and everybody's concerned because Murtaugh's there. So they all decide to have him hide in the slaves' quarters. The British, thankfully, aren't there for Murtaugh. However, they are there with a letter for Jamie, and Jamie is, by the orders of the governor, to start a militia, and his first order of business is to hunt down and kill Murtaugh Fitzgibbons. Oh no, not good. Because Murtaugh still is with the regulators. He still plans to do what he is set to do. So yeah. They had to leave it on some cliffhanger, right? And you know what's interesting? I have been noting, like with my friends, that every season ends on a hopeful note. This season ended on a like a negative note, let's say. This is not a good thing, but this is what they had to do to set up season 5. So yeah. Awkward. So yeah, we're gonna see how that goes next season. A lot of tension, I see. But overall, this finale was really well done. And I think even the stuff that they left out, it worked. They made it work. But let's talk about some of the changes that they did make, and let's just do a little comparing. Claire and Jamie were supposed to be there for the birth of their grandchild. That was in the books. They weren't in the show. They didn't get to help Brianna deliver the baby. Jamie wasn't there to make up with her, as it is in the book. But instead they rather had them lag behind a little bit. Because I think realistically, it probably takes more time to travel from New York to North Carolina. So I think that's kind of the approach they were trying to think about. Like, would they really be back in time for the birth in that short amount of time? Because I think they technically had 7 months to get to New York and come back. And back then, there were no trains, no cars, no planes, just horseback. So I don't think they would have made it back in time because it just maybe wouldn't have been as realistic. But, I mean, at least they were trying to convince Roger to come back. I think they were mostly trying to spend time on that scene, because it was actually a longer scene than I thought it was going to be, which I think is great, because they needed to take their time to get all of the information to Roger, for Roger to react to everything. So I think they drew that scene out more, maybe, to emphasize the big choice that he had to make. And I don't know how that went in the book, but in the show I think it worked really well. Just maybe caused Claire and Jamie to lag behind a little bit. But I'm not going to complain. At least we know that Brianna forgives Jamie. It would have been nice to at least see them hug or something. Yes, I admit. But I can't complain. I think we'll see more of them bonding in the future. I don't know what scenes there are of them bonding, but I think we'll see their relationship grow more. Another change. So this is the Murtaugh stuff. So he and Jocasta are officially an item. I'm sorry, it's weird for me to say that. I saw that coming. I know they were dropping hints. In the book, we know that Murtaugh isn't there. and it's supposed to be a man by the name of Duncan Innes. So, I think Murtaugh has officially replaced Duncan, which is ironic because the actor who plays Murtaugh is named Duncan. Huh. Was that planned? But, yes, they have officially become a couple. They have feelings for each other. We got to see them enjoy the morning after. And Jocasta really cares about him. So she's willing to hide him from the British, which is big on her part because she usually doesn't like to break the rules. So, it'll be interesting to see if she becomes a part of the Regulator cause. That would be an interesting change of character for Jocasta. We'll see. And this also means we may be seeing a wedding in their future. That'll be nice. But yeah, we also didn't get to know the name of the baby. We know, if we've read the books or if we've read online, that the name is supposed to be Jemmy, which I think the full name was Jeremiah, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was Jeremiah. So little Jemmy is born. He wasn't named in the show, but we'll know his name next season, I'm sure. You can't just go around calling him, "Hey kid." But, oh, he was so cute. And I can't wait to see him grow up on the show. He's going to be adorable. Another change that I know is that the scene with young Ian, where he is being initiated into the Mohawk, that was a more intense scene in the book. Because I think they tattooed him and I don't know if they gave him piercings, but it was a different process. But they didn't show that. They just showed the whole walking through the line of men punching him kind of ritual. But, yeah, we didn't get to see that. Oh, yeah. And Rollo. We won't get to see Rollo for a while. That sweet, happy-go-lucky dog. I'm gonna miss him. But we'll see him again, too. But I know what happens. I'm not gonna spoil it, but based on my reaction, that probably was a spoiler, sorry. But yeah, I think overall, besides the changes, it's a really good finale. I wanted to cry 3 times. I didn't, but I don't usually want to cry 3 times, maybe 2, but not 3. So yeah, they definitely got to me on a few scenes. Young Ian staying with the Mohawk, Jemmy being born and being held in Brianna's arms, and then Roger returning. I'm not happy with him entirely, but it was a beautiful scene. But yeah, I am beyond excited that we get 2 more seasons of this, and hopefully, hopefully we will get to finish the entire book series. I don't know if they will confirm season 7, 8, and 9, but they have to. I can't end it on season 6. So Stars, if you're listening, please finish the series. Do it for Jamie. But seriously, it would be great if we got to see the whole series play out. And I welcome the changes. I do feel a bit of sorrow not to see some of the scenes from the book come to life, but at the same time, it's an adventure to see what they come up with and what they decide to do for the show. And it keeps it exciting, it keeps it fresh and new. And obviously things change, like the books were written back in the 90s, things are different now, it's a different crowd, and I know they want to please everybody, but you can't please everyone. I'm not always pleased with everything they do, but I still love the show. It is near and dear to my heart. I started watching the show when it first came out. It was a few years ago, 2014. I was moving, and I myself was kind of like an outlander. I was in a new place, I didn't know anybody around here, and it was like I was kind of guided by Outlander, like sometimes your situation changes, but at the same time you make the most of it and you find a way to accept your journey. So it helped me cope with that, and I just love the show for that reason. And I didn't even realize that that was the reason at the time. So it's just an amazing show, and I don't think I've ever had a show that I've loved this much. I have had many shows that I've loved, but this one is true to my heart. I've even bought into the franchise, and I've got the rings. But this show's amazing, and season 4 was really good. I'm gonna have to rewatch everything because I know I have forgotten some details, and if I left anything out from the finale in this video, I apologize beforehand. I just had to do this video and talk about it. And thank you guys for joining me on this journey, and I am excited for season 5. I believe they will be filming in February. We haven't had an announcement yet, but I did see in an article that they should be filming in February. So yeah, we might not get it till spring or summer of 2020, but hey, we've gotten through worse, right? We are officially in Droughtlander, guys. I am sorry to say, but at the same time, I'm not sorry to say, because when there's a Droughtlander, that means there's another season to come. Alright, tell me what you guys thought of the finale. Did you love it? Did you like the changes? What do you guys think about Murtaugh and Jocasta finally becoming a couple? And yeah, we didn't get to see some of the characters in this episode. We didn't get to see Lord John. We didn't get to see Marsley and Fergus again, but they got a big episode in the last one, so I'm okay with that. And we'll see them again, so yeah, we have a lot in store. Alright guys, and my videos, as far as that goes, I don't entirely know what I will be reviewing next. I might be doing a new show called I Am the Night. That's all about the Black Dahlia, like the aftermath of that. And there's also going to be another show on, I believe it's FX. It's called Fosse Verdon. It's about Bob Fosse and his wife Gwen Verdon. And I'm actually excited for that one, so I might do videos for that as well, but that's not till April. So, we'll see. There's many possibilities. And yeah, if I don't do those shows, maybe I might do some Disney related videos. I might be going to Disneyland soon, so just keep an eye. Alright, guys, thank you again for being here, for living this journey with me, for watching the show with me. And yeah, welcome to Droughtlander. I will see you guys soon. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good year. Just have a wonderful time. Enjoy rewatching the show. Alright guys, thank you again, and goodbye.